Feeling paralyzed by confusing financial advice is keeping you from growing your money. We break down the simple, actionable steps any beginner can take to manage both saving and investing without the stress. Deciding whether to save or invest your money can feel like you're staring at a fork in the road, completely lost. If you take the safe route, you risk your money's value getting eaten away by the slow burn of inflation. But if you take the growth route, you might not have cash when you desperately need it, which could force you into some nasty, high-interest debt. That feeling of being financially paralyzed? It's real, and it's stopping millions of people from actually growing their wealth. But what if I told you it's not a fork in the road at all? Think of it this way. You wouldn't bring a sword to a shield fight, and you wouldn't try to chop down a tree with a shield. You need both, but you have to know when to use each one. You need a financial shield for protection and a financial sword for growth. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple step-by-step plan that shows you how to use both your financial shield and your financial sword to build real wealth without all the stress. The entire saving versus investing debate is built on a lie. It's presented as a high-stakes choice that forces you to declare allegiance. Team Save, cautiously guarding every penny, or Team Invest, boldly chasing growth. This false dichotomy is the root of so much financial anxiety, making you feel like you're already behind before you've even started. You're bombarded from all sides. Cable news flashes, dizzying stock tickers, social media influencers promise get-rich-quick secrets, and even well-meaning family offer conflicting advice. The noise is deafening, and it's designed to make you feel like you're one wrong move away from disaster, making the simple act of managing your money feel like navigating a minefield blindfolded. Let's break down this tug-of-war. On one side, the cash is trash camp warns that every dollar in a standard bank account is a melting ice cube, and they have a point. With an annual inflation rate of, say, 2.9%, like the US saw in August 2025, a stash of $10,000 loses $290 of its purchasing power in just 1 year. That's not just a number. That's a tangible loss. It's a utility bill, a weekend trip, or a significant chunk of your grocery budget vanished into thin air. Your money buys less coffee, less gas, less everything. But then, you see the other side. Terrifying headlines about market crashes and stories of people losing their life savings overnight. The fear is visceral. The idea of watching your account balance go after all your hard work? It's paralyzing. So you're caught in the crossfire. Fear of inflation pushes you to invest, but fear of the market pushes you back to cash. The result is financial paralysis. You do nothing. Your money sits, collecting digital dust in a checking account, paying a laughable 0.001% interest, while inflation eats away at its value. Every day you wait is a day of lost opportunity for your money to be working for you. This inaction, born from confusion, is the single most costly mistake. But what if the premise is wrong? The real question isn't, you should save or invest. The breakthrough is realizing the question is, you do both, strategically, so they work in harmony. It's not a battle, it's a partnership. To build wealth and security, you need both a shield and a sword. Think of it this way. Saving is your financial, it's your defense. It protects you from life's unexpected attacks, a sudden job loss, a medical emergency, a car that breaks down. It's the stable, accessible cash that lets you sleep at night, knowing you can handle a crisis without going into debt. Investing, on the other hand, it's your offense. This is how you fight back against inflation and actively grow your wealth to reach your biggest goals, like retirement. A warrior would never go into battle with just a shield or just a sword. You need both to survive and conquer. And crucially, there's a proper sequence. You always secure your shield first before you start swinging your sword. Now, before we dive into building your shield and sharpening your sword, a crucial disclaimer. I am not a licensed financial advisor, and this video is not personalized financial advice. Think of this series as your financial boot camp. We're here to give you the map, the compass, and the foundational knowledge to navigate this world with confidence. Our goal is to empower you to ask the right questions and understand the concepts so you can build a plan that works for you. We always recommend doing your own research and considering a chat with a qualified professional who can tailor advice to your unique situation. Ready? Let's get started. And to make this even easier for you, I've put together a simple one-page checklist that sums up all the steps we're about to cover. It's totally free. I'll remind you about it at the end, but for now, let's get your plan built. So, here's the simple solution that cuts through all that noise. Saving and investing aren't enemies, they're teammates playing different positions on your financial dream team. It's not about choosing one over the other, it's about using one, then the other. Saving is your defense. It's your financial shield. Its entire job is to protect you from the unexpected and give you a stable foundation for your short-term goals. Saving is all about security and having cash ready to go. Investing is your offense. It's your financial sword. Its job is to go out and build your wealth, to fight off inflation, and to grow your money for the long haul. Investing is all about growth and taking calculated risks to get it. You absolutely have to build your shield before you start swinging that sword around. A warrior who runs into battle without a shield is just being reckless. But a warrior who only ever holds a shield and never learns to use a sword, they're never going to win. You need both, and you have to start with your defense. First things first, you've got to build that financial shield. Think of this as your personal financial fortress. Its purpose is to create a pool of money that is absolutely safe, completely stable, and easy to get to the moment you need it. When we say safe, we mean it's protected from loss. For accounts in the US, this means looking for FDIC insurance, which protects your money up to $250,000. Stable means its value doesn't jump up and down with the stock market. And easy to access means you can transfer it to your checking account in just a few days. No questions asked. This shield isn't about getting rich. It's about ensuring you never have to go into crisis mode. It's the foundation that gives you the confidence to build wealth elsewhere. The primary role of saving is for any financial goal you have coming up in the next 5 years. This is a super important rule of thumb called the 5-year rule. If you know you'll need a chunk of money for a down payment in 3 years, a new car in 2, or a wedding next year, that money needs to be saved, not invested. Why? Because the stock market is way too unpredictable in the short term. You can't risk that money not being there when you need it. For these planned, non-emergency expenses, you can set up what are called sinking funds. These are just specific savings buckets for each goal. It's a fantastic way to save intentionally without derailing your main emergency fund. Now, let's talk about your number one non-negotiable savings goal, your emergency fund. This is the heart of your shield. The standard advice is to save 3 to 6 months' worth of your essential living expenses. But what's an essential expense? It's the absolute must-pays. Your rent or mortgage, utilities, food, transportation to work, and insurance premiums. It is your Netflix subscription, gym membership, or budget for eating out. To calculate your target, simply add up 1 month of these essential costs and multiply by 3 and then by 6. That range is your goal. So should you save for 3 months or 6? It depends on your personal situation. Let's look at a mini case study. Sarah is a 25-year-old freelance graphic designer. Her income can be unpredictable from month to month. For her, a 6-month emergency fund provides a crucial buffer during slower work periods. It gives her peace of mind and prevents her from taking on bad clients out of desperation. On the other hand, we have Mark, a 40-year-old engineer with a stable salary and a spouse who also works full-time. Their dual-income household has more stability, so they might feel comfortable with a 3-month fund, allowing them to allocate more of their money towards other goals, like investing for retirement. The less stable your income, the bigger your shield should be. So, where do you keep this powerful fund? Not in your regular checking account, it's too easy to spend accidentally, and definitely not stuffed under your mattress, where it's vulnerable to theft, fire, and its value is actively eroded by inflation. The answer is a high-yield savings account, or HISA. As of October 2025, many online banks are offering interest rates over 4%, with some even reaching 5.0%. Compare that to the national average savings account rate, which often languishes way below 1%. And HISA lets your emergency fund at least put up a decent fight against inflation while it's on standby. When choosing one, look for 4 key things: a competitive interest rate, FDIC insurance, no monthly maintenance fees, and a simple process for transferring money. A common myth is that online banks are less safe, but as long as they are FDIC insured, your money is just as protected as it would be at a physical bank down the street. Once your emergency fund is fully loaded, you've got a seriously strong shield. Now, you can use your savings power to start attacking any high-interest debt you might have, like those pesky credit card balances. Paying off a credit card with a 20% interest rate is like getting a guaranteed 20% return on your money. You won't find a better deal than that anywhere. There are 2 popular strategies for this. The first is the debt snowball. You list your debts from the smallest balance to the largest, regardless of interest rate. You make minimum payments on all of them, but throw every extra dollar at the smallest one. Once it's paid off, you feel a huge win. Then you roll that entire payment amount onto the next smallest debt. This method is fantastic for building motivation. The second is the debt avalanche. With this method, you list your debts by interest rate, from highest to lowest. You attack the highest interest debt first. Mathematically, this approach will save you the most money in interest over time, but it might take longer to feel that first victory. The best method is the one you'll actually stick with. Both are powerful ways to sharpen your financial position before you move on to the next step: building your sword. All right, you've done the hard work. Your shield is forged and polished. That 3 to 6 month emergency fund is secure, earning interest in a high-yield savings account ready to defend you from any of life's unexpected ambushes. With your defenses solid, it's time to go on the offensive. It's time to shift your mindset from just protecting what you have to actively building the future you want. It's time to pick up your sword. It's time to start investing. Your sword isn't for short-term skirmishes. Investing is for the long game, goals 5 or more years down the road. Retirement is the ultimate long-term goal, but it could also be for a down payment on a house in 10 years, or funding a child's education in 18. The reason we need the sword is because of a silent, invisible dragon called inflation. Every year, inflation eats away at the value of your money. That 4 to 5% you earn in a high-yield savings account, that's your shield just barely deflecting the dragon's fire. It helps you tread water. But investing? That's how you slay the dragon. The stock market has historically delivered an average annual return of around 10 to 11%. That difference is where the magic happens, thanks to the superpower of compounding. It's not just your money making money, it's your money's money making money, creating a snowball of wealth that grows bigger and faster over time. For example, over 30 years, a $10,000 investment growing at 4% becomes about $32,000. At 10%, it becomes nearly $175,000. That is the power of the sword. So how do you start wielding this powerful weapon without accidentally hurting yourself? The financial world can feel like a chaotic battlefield, filled with noise, hot tips, and gurus promising to make you rich overnight. Many beginners get hurt by making classic mistakes. They try to time the market, buying high in a frenzy and selling low in a panic. They chase speculative stocks based on a friend's recommendation, which is pure gambling. They get paralyzed by having too many choices. But here's the secret. You don't need to be a sword master or a stock-picking genius. In fact, the most successful investors aren't the ones making the most daring moves. They're the ones who follow a simple, disciplined plan. For beginners, that plan is a clear 2-step path. First, and this is non-negotiable, You must capture the free money. If your employer offers a retirement plan like a 401k with a company match, this is your absolute first priority. Let's break down what that means. A common match is 100% of the first 5%. If you earn $60,000 a year, 5% of your salary is $3,000. If you contribute that $3,000 to your 401k over the year, your company will deposit an additional $3,000 into your account. For free. You've just made an instant, guaranteed 100% return on your money. There is no other investment on planet Earth that offers this. Not taking the full employer match is literally leaving part of your salary on the table. Your company may offer a traditional 401k for a tax break now, or a Roth 401k for tax-free withdrawals later. Regardless of which you choose, getting the match is the top priority. Second, once you're getting your full company match, you build the blade of your sword with low-cost, diversified index funds, or ETFs. This is the not-so-secret weapon for smart, long-term investors. Forget the myth that you need to find the next Amazon or Tesla. Instead of trying to find the one winning needle in the haystack, you just buy the whole haystack. An S&P 500 index fund, for example, lets you own a tiny piece of the 500 largest U.S. companies. A total stock market fund owns a piece of virtually every public company in the U.S., big and small. An international fund does the same for the rest of the world. By buying one or two of these funds, you are instantly diversified. You're betting on broad economic growth over time. How you mix these is your asset allocation. Let's look at two examples. Meet Sarah. She's 25. She has 40 years until retirement, so she can afford to be aggressive. Her allocation might be 90% stocks, split between U.S. and international index funds, and 10% in a bond index fund for a little stability. Now, meet Mark. He's 40. He's closer to retirement and wants to protect his gains. He might choose a more conservative 70% stock and 30% bond allocation. Your personal mix depends on your age and risk tolerance. Once a year, you'll want to rebalance. If stocks had a great year and now make up 75% of Mark's portfolio instead of 70%, he'd sell some stocks and buy bonds to get back to his target. This enforces the discipline of selling high and buying low. So where do you hold these investments? After your 401k, the best place for most people is an individual retirement arrangement, or IRA. A Roth IRA is powerful. You invest with after-tax money, and your qualified withdrawals in retirement are 100% tax-free. A traditional IRA offers a potential tax deduction now, but you pay taxes on withdrawals later. If you max out your IRA or are saving for a non-retirement goal, you can use a standard taxable brokerage account. You can open any of these accounts online in minutes with reputable, low-cost brokerage firms. And let's bust one final, crucial myth. You do not need a pile of cash to start. Most brokerages have no account minimums. You can start with $100 or even $20. The key is to make it automatic. Set up a recurring investment every single month. This is a powerful strategy called dollar cost averaging. When you invest the same amount regularly, you automatically buy more shares when prices are low and fewer shares when prices are high. It takes all the emotion and guesswork out of investing and turns market volatility into your friend. This set it and forget it approach is the secret to disciplined long-term success. It ensures your sword is always being sharpened, month after month, building you a future of financial strength and freedom. Let's bring it all together. That feeling of being paralyzed is over because you now have a clear, straight-line plan. It's not saving versus investing. It's a unified strategy. Step 1. Build your financial shield. Save up 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses in a high-yield savings account. That's your emergency fund. Step 2. Attack high-interest debt. Use any extra cash flow to wipe out toxic debt like credit cards. Step 3. Wield your financial sword. Part 1. Put money into your employer's 401k up to the full company match. It's free money. Step 4. Wield your financial sword, Part 2. Open a Roth IRA or another brokerage account and set up automatic investments into a low-cost, diversified index fund, like one that tracks the S&P 500. For way too long, the financial world has made the simple act of growing your money feel way too complicated and stressful. The whole saving versus investing debate was a false choice designed to keep you confused. But now you know the truth. It's not a fork in the road. It's a path. It's not a choice. It's an order of operations. First, you build the shield. Your savings give you the stability and security to handle any storm that comes your way. Then, and only then, do you pick up the sword. Your investments deliver the growth you need to build a future where your money is doing the hard work for you. You're now armed with both the shield of saving and the sword of investing. You've gone from feeling stuck to having a clear, actionable plan. You are in control. If this video helped clear things up and you're feeling more confident about your financial journey, hitting that subscribe button would be amazing. We drop new videos every week to make your financial life simpler. And don't forget to grab that free one-page checklist I mentioned earlier. The link is waiting for you in the description below. Thanks for watching.